Hey, how's it going, guys? Domino Paris 21 here, and back with another talk video for you guys. So, now of course I don't usually do these kind of videos as I'm not really much of a ranter, necessarily. I know there's other guys that you may like to look for online for these kind of things, but there's definitely a few topics for discussion I really want to get out there to you guys, the community, and really help continue spreading a message that me and a couple guys are really trying to promote. So first things first, I want to give a big shout out to Mason Clark of the Science of Vanguard, and you probably see his name popped up in Vanguardians because, well, he is the admin of Vanguardians. And something that he's been promoting these past few months during the course of the Bushiroad event season, I guess, Spring Festival? No, Fall Festival or whatever. We're really trying to promote some improvement in the way Bushiroad tournament structures are. Now, for as long as I've been playing this game, which was pretty much from the very beginning and from the very start of me attending Bushiroad events, which actually started in 2012 or so, almost 4 years now, excuse me, there's always been common concerns or complaints by the player base, the community in general, year after year, and I feel like it's like the same repeated concern. And while I always have a great time attending these Bushiroad events, I feel that there's definitely some room for improvement to create a much better experience, and also most importantly, a much more rewarding experience that players can really look forward to as well. Especially for doing well in these tournaments. So what I'm really trying to promote exactly is continuing to spread the message that Mason is really trying to get across. And it's involving like the first step that Bushiroad can make towards these improvements. Now, there's definitely a list of them, but this is definitely a first step that they can really make, which I feel like it's not going to be much of a hindrance at all to the way their structured operations is. And I'm talking about is allowing the top 8 players at every event to have an invitation to nationals. Now, if you guys are not familiar with how the structure works exactly, basically you obviously attend an event. It's a free event. At whatever specified location and dates that Bushiroad has on the website, and you compete in best of 1 format, double elimination, so if you lose 2 rounds you're out, and depending on the amount of players they usually stop at about 7-8 rounds a lot of times, at least when I go to New York. And after about 7-8 rounds, then they make a top cut to top 8, so they take the top 8 players and then they have them played out for the grand prize, which is first place actually gets of course, not only an invitation to the Nationals Championship, but a free trip there. So, a free trip to California to play for Nationals. I think that's a really cool prize to go for, especially that is a free tournament, which I know that players do attend these events at their own expense, but I'll get to that in a moment. But then second place gets an invitation, not free, but it's just a simple invitation to Nationals, and then third place gets the invitation. So, when you're talking about the 4th through 8th place, although top 8 does get like a nice little badge, it does say top 8, it's a nice memorabilia, but that's kind of it. That's kind of like where the reward stops for reaching that far. And honestly, I feel like that's really unfulfilling, at least, for the competitive player in me. Now, granted, I never actually got a chance to play in top 8. Granted, I haven't attended a singles event in years, and I had a few close calls in team league, like 11th place in Atlanta, I think like 15th place in New York. So I had some close calls in team leagues, but I feel like that's really unfulfilling to make it that far, actually, get called out for top 8, but then you don't get a chance to compete, to go to the nationals, to the national stage to compete. I feel like, making top 8, you deserve that chance. Now, this is not me saying that, Bushiroad should pay for all of top 8's expenses. No. Like, that's actually not even what I'm getting at. Top 8 will still have that opportunity to play for first prize, which is the free trip to California, which is essentially a free vacation. I still think that's an awesome prize to still look forward to trying to play for. But you can imagine, especially if you attend Bushiroad events, you can just imagine the process and the journey it takes to make it that far. Whether you're lucky all day or you've been playing your heart out all day. Think about 7 to 8 rounds. That's about like 6 to 8 hours, of the day that you're really putting in playing. And not only that, it's best of 1 in a pretty luck-based game. So either you're not getting a lot of bad luck, or maybe luck's coming to you. But most importantly, you're playing out of what's deemed as a very lucky type of format. So you can imagine playing through 8 hours, 8 hours during the day. you got some really good wins. Maybe you got sacked once, and you were like 5-1. You still got to fight through 3 more rounds. You did. You played your heart out. You did. And even if you go X1, there's still an opportunity for you to not make top 8. Just, I don't know, 'cause tiebreakers can be weird, especially in the Bushiroad system with double elimination. It's not Swiss, so it's not predictable. So, I mean, usually at the end of 8 rounds, there's about like 13, 14 X1s. So only 8 of them get the top cut. The rest of them, well, it's too bad. So you can imagine fighting through all those rounds, only coming out with just 1 loss throughout the whole day. That already feels pretty rewarding. And then, of course, you still have to kind of play that crapshoot of making that top 8. You make that top 8. You're fortunate enough to make the top 8. And you did it. It's definitely a hard journey to do that. A lot of players, of course, feel really fulfilled in making X1, but like, there's a whole journey of being able to make top 8. So it's not. I don't think it's very easy necessarily. And yeah, so I feel like if they're gonna present a top 8, they're gonna give them some kind of memorabilia badge and kind of commemorate them. Why not? I just don't understand. Why don't you give them an invite at their own expense still to attend the nationals to continue that? To continue their search for them. So that's something I don't really understand. Now, if you look in comparison to other card games, now I do have some friends that play Vanguard. Of course, they enjoy Vanguard, but they also play other card games more competitively, like let's say Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, and and the big reason why they don't take Vanguard very seriously as their primary game, although they feel like there can be potential, is the fact is it's a very non-rewarding tournament structure. Like, what are you really playing for in Vanguard? Especially in a competitive player's aspect, what are you really playing for? You're playing for, you go to these Bushiroad events, you fight through the whole tournament structure, make top 8, but then that's it. Unless you make first prize, basically if you don't make first, you're last. Because that's really what the main prize you're going for, but then that's it. And while it's nice to make it that far, and as far as like principles and sentimental values concerned, yes, but that's not really much reward at all for putting just as much work into getting yourself better at the game compared to what others do in other card games. But other card games have better reward for the players, I feel. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, now of course I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh years ago competitively, and definitely things are a lot different as far as their tournament structure is concerned. Now, it's not me saying that Yu-Gi-Oh is better than Bushiroad, but let me give you guys a comparison. So, actually, before I even started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I had friends that played longer than me. They say, when you go to a regional event in Yu-Gi-Oh for Konami, the company for Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to make top 8 at a regional event after about the same amount of rounds that a Bushiroad event, and then you get an invitation to nationals. Now, it's not a paid trip; you still go at your own expense, but you make top 8 to make nationals. So, which is ideal. But when I started playing competitively, Konami since expanded that to top 32. So you can go to a regional event, you make top 32, you get an invitation to nationals. So you can already see the much greater opportunity there is just to at least go at your own expense to the national stage. And the fact is that they're allowing top 32, there's more chances to go with friends as opposed to maybe barely making it there by yourself. So that right there is already bringing a much better experience and better reward for the players who do successful at these tournaments. And not only that, if you look at the Konami's website and regional events, I'm sure that within the 2-month span, there's maybe 2 to 3 regional events within a 2, maybe 3-hour driving distance, depending how far you're willing to drive for these, to attend. Because I remember through the course of 2 months, I attended 3 regional events. They're all within 2-hour driving distance. And there's more opportunities. So not only is there more opportunities, more events I can attend to within a given time frame, but there's a much greater chance at me to still perform and get that end result of getting the nationals invite. So now if you look at Bushiroad events, Bushiroad events, they come like once a year. Like, well, one for singles, one for teams. But in respect to singles, it's only once a year. And, realistically, you could really only go to one event. Because, for how spread out, for how I don't want to say little events, few events, because, it's not saying that they don't have a lot of events, but they don't have as many events as they do for Konami, because they kind of like go to major cities, and it's more spread out, And there's not many opportunities to attend these events, so I can really only, and plus obviously financially, I mean, not everyone can afford a trip to go to Chicago one month and then mainly go to New York another month and then get a plane ride to Atlanta. So realistically, players plan to go to this one event. So you go to this one event, you have a good time with friends, but you only have this one opportunity to make top 3 out of like 500-600 players. That's crazy. That's a little crazy. And again, it's not like I'm asking for much. I'm not really asking for Bushiroad to, pay cash prizes to everyone or anything like that. But, just this one little gesture of just allowing the top 8, which they do a top cut anyway, get that opportunity at their own expense to play Nationals invite, I feel like that would be a big step in just helping to improve the tournament structure. Because, because that's what it is. That's like a big reason that's holding Vanguard back from being treated as a well-regarded competitive game. Now, I understand that Vanguard is still perceived as a very casual-like game. A lot of players like to play casually, but I feel like there's still a lot of great opportunity for the game to be taken at a competitive level. I mean, if you look at Hearthstone, Hearthstone is, it's still deemed, it's a very RNG game. You could really lose to RNG a lot, and it can be taken as casual as well. But it could be still taken competitively. There are players that are very successful with it and it can be taken competitively, that take it very competitively. And I feel like Vanguard is kind of like in that same spot. Although it's a fairly luck-based game, there's still opportunities for skill to thrive in that game in a lot of cases in the long run, and there's still players that are showing success with it consistently. So I feel like, there can definitely be greater reward in the tournament structure that really will help to promote players to want to get better at this game for something. Because I know some guys in my community who, they don't take Vanguard that seriously. They're good players in other respects to other card games, but they don't take Vanguard seriously because there's not the reward's not there. Like, what's the point? I'm going to go there, play a luck-based game, best of 1. I could maybe make top 8, but then I still have to fight out and make top 3 out of like hundreds of players, as opposed to putting more work in these other card games where they have much greater reward. And more opportunities for me to be more successful and carry my success much deeper than the way Bushiroad has their tournament structure. So I feel like top 8, personally I think top 8 is the bare minimum of for invitations. Personally, I think if you can go X1, play through all 8 rounds in hundreds of players of tournament, best of 1, I feel like anyone who only suffered 1 loss, X1 deserves to get an invite to Nationals. I feel like they could extend it to top 16, maybe even top 32, depending on how big they really want their national event to be, which honestly I don't think as of right now it's not even that big of an event if you're only giving top 3 invites. And I mean, that's at the player's expense to go. Unless you get the free trip, it's at the expense, the individual player's own expense out of their pocket to go. So not everyone's going to go, not everyone's going to pay, if I live in Virginia, so if I go to California, that's like $400 for like plane ticket round trip, and then I have to get hotels and stuff like that. So that's gonna be like a $500 trip for me to go. So not everyone's gonna it's gonna be so quick to go, but at least I want to be given that opportunity. And what's another 30 players, to Nationals compared to how many people are really at Nationals? I really don't know. Like maybe 20 players at most. I'm sure there's like last chance qualifiers or something like that, but it's like 20 players at most. What's another 30 players, joining, because I feel like honestly they can even again spread it out to maybe top 32 getting invites, or top 16 getting invites. Like they could still play out top 8, but I feel like even top 16 can at least get invites, and then top 8 can play out for grand prize. I think that's fine too, because I know with the way Bushiroad has their schedule laid out, because they have other events too on the weekends that they have the festivals. They really only want to get Vanguard done in one day. I mean, I would like to see a day 2 where they have cut to top 32, they have a day 2 event, but the way Bushiroad has it now, they want to finish with the Vanguard tournament in one day. They can easily cut to top 16. That will include just about every X1 player. Everyone in top 16 gets an invitation to Nationals. Top 8 will still play out, and obviously 9 through 16 they don't, but they'll still get an invite. So I feel like that small gesture will really be a big step forward in improving the tournament structure for Vanguard in regards to Bushiroad events, and it will really help to promote Vanguard as a more competitive card game, because at least there will be a greater sense of reward. So I mean that's that's my thought on it. There's definitely a few more things that I feel like Bushiroad can do. I mean, obviously, best of 2 out of 3 is something that's been heavily fought for, by players, which is why I'm really glad for the local community championships like Vanguard. Shout outs to them. Dynasty Cup. Shout outs to Juan Mango. Excuse me, guys. King of Cardfight. And I'm sure there's others too, which I can't think of right now. That really helps promote that competitive Vanguard structure that players are really fighting for. So I feel like Bushiroad can definitely make small improvements like that. But like again, guys, I feel like just expanding their invitation criteria will definitely be a good step forward, and it won't have really any types of big mitigations to their normal operations, I feel. In fact, they can start right now in the middle of their festivals, and I feel like it won't really hinder much at all, if not any, to their already scheduled operations for this festival season. So there you have it, guys. That's my thought on it. Definitely leave a comment down below what you think. So if you guys definitely agree with this and feel like this will be a great step forward for the game, definitely share it with people, share it with everyone. If you have a YouTube channel yourself, you want to make your own thoughts and opinions about it, wanting to continue spreading the message, make a video about it, promote it, and just share it with everyone. Share this video with everyone, share it on Vanguardians, Facebook groups, whatever. But the idea is to really promote this for you guys, to really get this message across for you guys, because I really love Vanguard. I know sometimes it can be a love-hate relationship, but I really want to see this game continue to thrive and continue to improve. And I feel like this will definitely be the first step. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys later.